Hello, welcome to Mamemeister's 10-minute mashup. Today's game is Rolling Thunder on the Atari ST. This game was one of my favourite games in the arcade. Used to play it in Bathgate arcade, one of the few arcades that was actually quite near to me. Most of the arcade machines were to wait until we were going on holiday and playing the service stations. Anyway, this game was in Bathgate. I remember seeing my mate Kenny playing it, and I thought it looked like an awesome game. I loved the music. It just really appealed to me. Got it on the Atari ST, and it looked the part, as you can probably tell. It looks very, very nice, but it just didn't play very well. Anyway, let's go. Rolling Thunder. Now this game is completely unforgiving. One hit and you're dead. Well, I think you're allowed one punch from a baddie, but one bullet and it's all over. Now, unlike the arcade machine, I'm sure these bad guys, oh, you only seem to take one shot to kill them. Now, the arcade machine had a joystick, two buttons, one for jumping, one for shooting. Obviously the Atari ST only had one button. Now the first thing that's apparent is just how slow... Whoops! I do apologise, I'm playing this on a PC, hence the reason I hit the fast forward button there. But this is accurate. Yeah, it's quite jerky, and it played as slow as anything. Now I don't know what the reason was behind that. I mean, this was one of the earliest. This was one of the earliest. This is one of the earliest games on the Atari ST. It was also the same in the Amiga. The Amiga version was just a port of the ST one. But is it lazy programming that the scrolling wasn't smooth? When you had games like Gold Runner on the Atari ST, it was silky smooth. It just basically came down to lazy programming as far as I'm concerned. The music really wasn't up to, it wasn't the same as the arcade one. Now, I don't know how to get down. I don't know what happened there. I do apologise, I keep hitting the fast forward button. Now, that's it. I went from a Commodore Amiga to the Atari ST. Come on, how do I get over this? I went from a Commodore 64 to Atari ST, and obviously the graphics were like night and day. I mean, it was a huge step up graphic wise. But the sound, I always thought it was really disappointing in the Atari ST. It sounds like an Amstrad. Now this game, I've played it a lot in arcades, believe it or not. I can get to, I think I've got to the third level before, so I'm fairly proficient at it. But because it's so unresponsive and jerky, it's also harder. I mean, they seem to shoot bullets at you a lot more in this version than they do in the arcade version. Press up the fire button to... I mean, that guy's shooting at you, and because it's so slow, it's just impossible to avoid. Oh, I've not even got the... Yeah! I mean, that looks alright. A snapshot of that, a screen dump of that, you'd think, oh, this looks good. Now, why did we have to put up with the huge big Rolling Thunder banner as well? That was, to me, that was just sloppiness. I mean, the actual screen itself is tiny. Up! I can't seem to jump. It's a pain in the arse to try and jump. You press up the fire button. As I says, it looks the part. If they had just improved the speed of it and the fluidity of it, it would have made all the difference. Because when a guy shoots, it's nigh on impossible to actually try and avoid him, avoid getting hit with the bullet. get to this, I shall pick up the machine gun. Balls, I'm jumping about here. But I suggest that if any of you guys have access to MAME, I suggest you try and search out the arcade version of this, because it's a great game. And it's just so slow. I mean, to me that's just sloppy programming. Now, to be honest with you, I've probably got further than this version of the game than I did when I had it back in the day, but you know, the reason being is because back then I'd played it in arcade, you know, a handful of times. I loved the game, but I didn't get a chance to play it very often. Whereas now I've got access to arcade versions in MAME, and so I've played the arcade version a lot. I mean, that's just stupidly hard. I've played the arcade version a lot, so obviously it's made me slightly better, even though you'd probably find it hard to believe. I mean, the scrolling is bloody atrocious. Let's see if I can get to the second level. As long as you don't fire a bullet at me, come on! Now, one thing I've noticed, you don't seem to get different coloured baddies in this version, whereas you do in the arcade. Now, you certainly don't get him in the arcade version. Again, little things like this, I would normally be able to shoot him, but as you can probably tell, in this version, the bullets aren't high enough. And I'm going to jump into him and die. Oops, there we go. One jump to your death. You fools. Now this is a 16-bit machine, and I don't think Atari lacked raw power, so this is just sloppy programming. Sure as fate, if I jump down, I shall be killed. Hooray! Still got a wee bit to negotiate. It's not over yet. Now, the arcade one, he throws a bomb. However, in this one, ah, look at that! Again, in the arcade one, I could kill him by standing here. But not in this version, it would appear. So I'm going to have to go up here. That's just annoying. There you go. Almost died. So they've made it through bad programming, they've made this game more difficult than it should be. Now he's taking more bullets than he should normally take. Hey! Well, you'll get to see 10 seconds of the second level. So yeah, it would have been a nice game if it just made it not so. it's just too slow to react. Anyway guys, listen, I'm not going to play on because it's a 10-minute mashup and the 10 minutes is up. This is Rolling Thunder on the Atari ST. Thanks for watching.